And so here we are in the final round of the Clopsey 2v2. We've got Metapod versus Team Jelly. Metapod, of course, being Metapod and Lokken. And Jelly being AndreasG and KillerKiwi juice. So we've got multiple planets here. We've got Mithron. Yeah. And we've got the one and only Death Star, because apparently we've already played on it, so we get to play on it again. Looking around, we'll get to the other planet, because we've seen it already, so we already kind of know the strategies that people tend to employ there. Going to have picture-in-picture enabled. We'll cycle that to the other one there. So, it's kind of an interesting map because you have plenty of mechs at the spawns, north and south, as the players are in now. Ooh, hello. And there's all of these different crossing points that can be contested and pushed against, etc., etc. It's just so much metal, and losing this planet in particular is very, very bad news. Losing the metal planet is bad enough, but losing this one is even worse, just because it has so much eco. If we pull the tabs down there, 112. I mean, I suppose it is a little bit more spread out, of course, so it might be harder to retake. Anyway, the players are spawned in, so on the South Pole here, we've got one of the purple players, AndreasG and KillerKiwi juice. On the south over here, on Death Star. So we've got MLA on the Mithron, the moon, and we've got Legion on the metal planet versus MLA on the metal planet from Red, Metapod and Lokken. Equally, Legion on the North Pole there on Mithron. Most cases, it seems to be com reclaim apart from the Legion players for Red Team and Purple Team. So no com reclaim from the Legion. It's going to be a bit of a dichotomy on both planets, really. So while MLA will be very strong on the moon here because they can just swarm docks everywhere and just expand so fast early game, Legion on this one with the bot build here from Andreas, I think this one's going to be very, very aggressive, and he might actually win this planet before this red MLA player has a chance to really get to grips with what he's up against. He's gone 2 air and 2 bots, while the MLA Legion rather has gone 3 bots. That is powerful, right? That's going to be very, very potent when he actually starts to push out. He's got some Patriots in there as well to deal with the bombers. And the Lancers and Peacekeeper combination will very much deal with the docks that wander their way. And then it's just a case of containing the red player here and pushing in for the kill. Meanwhile on the moon though, what do we see? We see some nice scouting from the red there, the Legion popping up some investigators. Got air and vehicles from MLA. Vehicles from MLA? On this planet? You what? Okay, very interesting move indeed, considering Legion is just going to go full on bots and air. This is a very curious strategic decision, I find, from Purple. They are effectively relinquishing the rest of the map, when as an MLA player, that is the last thing you want to do when you're against a Legion player. Does he even know that he's against Legion on this map? I think he does. He must have had a fly past from air. And he's gonna find the fact that it's a Legion base any second. There we go. Now he knows he's up against Legion, and now he realizes that perhaps vehicles first is not the best idea. Pings there from Purple saying, "Oh, I've got Legion on my map. What have you got? You must have MLA." But as we've already said, with the bot push here from Purple, it's just so strong. Even Sparks can't really withstand it very well. They've got some Fireflies gathering intel from Red, but even though they see these expanding fabrics, there's not really anything they can do about it. They don't have the air because there's the Patriots there, and they don't really have the docks raiding capabilities because there's the Lancers and Peacekeepers. So all they're going to have to do is just go on the defensive here, and again, rushing to T2 vehicles because they know that's the only way they're going to really deal with this. On the moon, though, T2 bots there from Legion. What do we got on the south spawn here from Purple? No T2 whatsoever. Actually, by the look of it, has come under a little bit of pressure from the Legion player already. Tanks coming up though, but in single file it's not going to do enough damage. Lancers focusing down this expansion here. The bombers will get shot because there's the Patriots in there. Thing is now the Lancers can just wreck through all of these docks. Oh, the bomber got one pass off. Managing to do a good bit of damage there actually. Perhaps needs more Patriots in that mix. Air and bombers coming up there. Will they get the Fabber picks? There's no real Fabbers away from the base right now, so they'll be out of luck. T2 bots almost finished there. What is that? T2 vehicles coming out already? Ooh, it is. That's T2 vehicles coming out already. Trying desperately to perhaps take out that T2 vehicle factory, but they know it's there. That's an important thing. Thing is, there's, you know, the problem for the purple team now is that they have to get up their own T2, and indeed they are going straight for the bots there. Possibly the better idea. Oh wow, those Novas though. I don't know how expensive they are, but when you actually lock down air in there, it's not bad. They are not bad. Forces coming out already from the Legion on the moon. Of course, I'm not going to see much orbital play for the asteroid gas giant. It's not hugely important right now. T2 vehicles desperately trying to get up from the purple team. Again, so much vehicles here. This is an interesting shot. I feel as though it could pay off for them if they just can actually make their pushes count. I just worry that perhaps they aren't going to. With these slow tank columns here against these bots that can really dish out damage quickly. I mean, look at this. I mean, even against Infernos they are... Oh, well, there you go. They got sandwiched a little bit there. But even against Infernos they're doing pretty well. Let's go back onto the metal planet here. E2 Eco getting up on the moon, as it should be. The levelers pushing out though with the combat fabs, just in case there are any mines or any sneakiness, but also to repair levelers and sparks as and when they start pushing in. Walls there doing a bit of work, not amazing, bots having to come back, and purple actually having to call for reinforcements from the moon. This is not great news for them, having to bring units from the moon where they really have to keep dominant map control here back over to the metal planet. It could work out for them, however. All they need to do is get this commander killed or this base dead. If they can do one or both of those things, it will have worked for them. But they have to get that. Thing is, red is kind of expanding sneakily around the rest, but so is purple, really. Economy is kind of in purple's lead favour right now. Army tab there, purple again, still have it. I think that's mostly because the bot's really here though. But even so, the vehicles and air actually... Oh, hello. Enforcer in the base. Enforcer in the base, hello. Bomb it, please. Bomb it, please. Okay, just about. There we go. Took a little bit of damage there, not too much. Only about 14 metal and an air factory, so not too bad, not too bad. Meanwhile, though, they have got units now. I think I saw some levelers coming through to the metal planet, and indeed also a fabricator there as well. So we might even see some MLA defences and stuff going up on this planet. Defences and or factories. Either one would be good. Both would be better. I'm very surprised that we haven't seen more expansion on the moon. I suppose what they want to do is win the smaller planet first, and that's where they're dividing most of their attention right now. Purple just need to keep going around, keep raiding these expansions, and they will gradually be able to push their lead back. There's enough tanks here now to be able to counter these levelers. Especially with, well, that enforcer was long-lived, wasn't it? Especially with these enforcers, and if this is all of the force that Red has here, that is not good news at all for Red. They have just lost their entire defensive force on this metal planet, and there's no teleport here to bring in reinforcements. That strat is working out for Purple. They must be pretty pleased with themselves right now that they managed to make that work. Relinquishing map control on the moon seems to have paid off for them. They're still getting a little bit of pressure on here. A few enforcers coming in. The air, though, still just about keeping in the game. The commander there, though. Both commanders threatened here. We could lose a Purple on the moon. No, we won't lose it. What am I on about? But we will definitely lose a Red on the metal. Pop. Now it's a case of sweeping up the base and then transferring all of their units back onto this planet here. All of them. Providing this commander gets off a good couple of uber cannons here against that enforcer. There you go. And now, once this, as I say, once all of these forces are done, you'll see everything rerouted through to that teleport. You can already see there in picture-in-picture how everything's moving back. There's no time for people to really go for the gas giant now because, well, their eco's kind of where it is at the moment. Purple 470 to 250, not great for Red Team here. Despite getting the intelligence and having the good early game plays, Purple just I suppose I'd say out-strategized, but outwitted them, I suppose. It's probably the better way of saying it. And just transferring all of those units to the metal planet is kind of counterintuitive, really, for an MLA player to do that. But I suppose they realised that they did need the MLA units to kill off an MLA base there with Legion supplements. Very impressive strategy there. What is this teleporter doing? Is Legion... They're trying to get back into a foothold, but with an air fabber, of all things. Ping saying, "Ah, there's a bot factory there, they killed me air fabber, where?" It's very curious that they decided to do that rather than push out with that ground force. Because the problem is they're not going to take back metal with just that force here. What they really needed to have done is just kept up pressure on this purple base here, but they just weren't able to do that. And as a result now, apart from the T2 vehicle factories going up all over the place, as a result now they're kind of spread way too thin. They're just really trying to get their air game in check, but even then, you know, they've now got 2 planets worth of dudes to contend with from just a single base. They're so far behind on eco now, so far. They're less than half of the power generation, and equally less than half of the metal income. What can they do? They can go for snipes, sure. But they got to get the right units going for it. I mean, this commander realises that a snipe is possible, so he's gaining up a bunch of AA around his base. Couple of lowly spinners doing whatever. Quite what they were doing, I don't know. Ooh, even going for the gas giant, it seems. Or not. Perhaps their eco can't afford it. I was going to say, if they could get out to that gas giant, that might actually save them, but it'll be very easy for Purple to contest them over here. Just erect an orbital launcher of their own and send over a few Avengers or Wraiths, I think they're called, aren't they, for the Legion version? And here's the push coming out now from MLA. They bowed their time. They were calm, they were patient, and now they have the big pushes on multiple fronts. Legion coming over on that one though, but still. Look at this base here, just T2, 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 even T2S, so they might even be considering Catalyst rushing. That could be quite amusing if they manage to do that. I'd like to see a Catalyst to end the tourney, wouldn't you? Yeah. That's right, I know you would. Kind of struggling for power just a little bit. This force though with air support could make a bit of a dent. Thing is, quite how much of a dent is Purple going to make when their forces get there? Quite a bit more, I should imagine. Thing is, their commander's kind of stuck. And they're against a whole vehicle and bot force there, so even Purgers might not be enough. Do they have any MLA fabricators left? No, so it's purely Legion now. And here we go, with this force, how much damage can they lay into this base? Even if they can kill off this base, it might not be enough if they lose their base up here. So actually, let's keep an eye on that in Pip. And there's that assault gone, and that's GG. There's really not a lot else Red can do now, other than wait for their untimely demise. There you go. If we go out back over to the metal, you can kind of see there. Yeah, they're going for the Catalyst rush. I hope they do go for the Catalyst. That's a nice way to end it. All those air fabs. Go on, Catalyst rush it. You know you want to. They're going to start doing it. Yeah, they're getting up all the metal that they can with air fabs. Come on, Catalyst rush. Everyone in chat, let me hear you scream it. Catalysts! There we go. How anticlimactic was that? God, this Air Force from Red. It's not going to do much against the ground forces, I'll tell you that much for nothing. God, the Novas are actually surprisingly good when they're mixed in with scythes like that. GG's are called. No catalysts today. AndreasG and KillerKiwi do win that game, however. Well played to them. Yeah, I still don't understand the Novas. They're kind of irrelevant, really. Whoa! Perhaps not! Where did it go? Where did the Air Force go? What just happened? What? What? Air Force, where did you go? What? It was me slagging off Novas, and apparently Blue's Air Force is now not there. What? I don't know quite what that was.